Tributes continue to pour in following the unexpected death of Zindzi Mandela in the early hours of Monday morning. She lived her life in the political spotlight as the youngest daughter of the late Nelson Mandela and Winnie Madikizela-Mandela. Zindzi was an ambassador to Denmark when she died. Let's take a look at some snippets from her life.
The struggle was her life. After all, she was born into it.
My father and his comrades at Portsmouth Prison send their greetings to you, the freedom-loving people of this our tragic land, in the full confidence that you will carry on the struggle for freedom.
Zindzi Mandela was born in Soweto on the 23rd of December 1960. She is the second and the youngest daughter of former President Nelson Mandela and the late Winnie Madikizela-Mandela. Mandela had 3 other children from a previous marriage. She was born into a highly charged political environment when the struggle against apartheid was intensifying. The country was still trying to make sense of the Sharpeville massacre of March 1960. From a young age, she was thrust into the political spotlight as the face of the Mandela family, while her famous father was in prison and her mother had been banished to Brandfort in the Free State.
My father speaks not only for himself and for his comrades at Portsmouth Prison, but he also speaks for all those in jail for their opposition to apartheid, for all those who are banished, for all those who are in exile, for all those who suffer under apartheid, for all those who are opponents of apartheid, and for all those who are oppressed and exploited.
Zindzi was only 18 months old when Nelson Mandela was sent to prison. She lived through the harassment and imprisonment of her mother by the apartheid government. When Winnie Mandela was banished to Brandfort in 1977, she went to live with her. She later left to continue her schooling in Swaziland. She was married twice and had 4 children, Zoleka, Zondwa, Bambata and Zwelabo. Following the divorce of her parents, she accompanied her father on presidential international trips. Although she was not as political as her parents, she held strong political views, especially on contentious issues such as land and inequality.
You have to change a mindset from that of a victim to that of an achiever in terms of our people, the previously oppressed people. In terms of our white brothers and sisters, they also need a change of mindset. They must stop thinking of us as being people who are going to save us from ourselves and redeem us from who we are and so on. But for them to also realize the role that they play, that they too, in a sense, are victims of total ignorance and condescension. So it's important for us to be able to find the correct steps to follow in terms of self-actualization, especially as a free people. You're not free if you have no sense of identity. You are a total slave without a sense of identity.
She was involved in the arts and business before becoming a diplomat. Zindzi was appointed ambassador to Denmark in 2015. It was her controversial tweets on land and apartheid apologists that set her on a collision course with International Relations Minister Naledi Pandor.
Well, I think carrying on the significant torch-bearing, having come from such an illustrious family, is a very important characteristic, because often many people have a heritage, but they don't often live up to it. She certainly made a good effort to do so, and I was intrigued, for example, with her work in Denmark, that she made efforts to draw together the former international anti-apartheid activists and to engage them on the developments that were occurring in South Africa and to seek their support in advocacy for the transformation efforts that were underway or are underway in our country. So she didn't forget that history, that South Africa's freedom depended as much on the activism of South Africans, but also on the support we got internationally, and that there were friends in communities throughout the world that we needed to draw on. And I thought that was a really good set of intervention.
President Cyril Ramaphosa described Zindzi as a freedom fighter in her own right. He said she had been designated for a diplomatic posting to Liberia at the time of her death. She passed away in the early hours of Monday, aged 59 years old.